Welcome to Know You Matter. This is real conversations for people who want to feel a little bit better without being given a to-do list.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the restoration coach, and I'm Lauren's mum.
And I'm Lauren. I'm the restoration strategist.
And we are ever so glad that you're here.
Oh, hello.
Let me press OK. Hello.
Hello. I don't know if you got that first one because she hadn't clicked OK. We are, if you're not listening, if you're watching, you'll notice that we are recording on Zoom today. Because Jacqueline is, sorry, Jacqueline, mum. We call her Jacqueline. If you haven't seen that reel, go and find it. Jacqueline is simply in demand. Constantly, consistently, aren't you? You're just such a popular person at the minute with training and work and clients and just being a goddamn gem to the world.
Is there any cynicism in that or sarcasm? Sorry.
No.
No.
No, actually, none of that was sarcasm. That
I'm
was
not
all
sure if I feel like I'm a
truth.
gem, but
You
yes,
are a gem.
there's a few bits going on lately.
Diamond
Well,
in
I
the
feel like it
rough.
has been since. All right, Aladdin.
Sorry.
Or were you Jafar?
We watched Aladdin. We actually managed to watch the entire film with Arlo on Sunday morning. So yay me. And we watched the whole of the Santa Claus. I know, sorry, really exciting. My child doesn't watch full movies. We watched 10 minutes and he goes, I want to watch car toys. So this was special for me. Sorry, you were telling us
It was
why
very
you're so
special.
busy.
I don't know that I was. You were telling everybody that I was so busy. I am excitedly, I'm heading off to York today to deliver some leadership training,
What about
which
York?
I'm loving, absolutely loving. We're bang in the middle of it. One day with one group this week, and then next week the same thing. So yes, I've been on with that, working with clients on positive intelligence, working with individual clients. With restoration,
Being a gem in society. See?
It feels so much more different to being in the studio.
I know. I feel a little bit protected by my screen. I'm going to be like a keyboard warrior, but across that, I'll be able to say things and you won't be able to do anything about it.
I've never thought that. I mean, welcome into my studio here at, Blondes Casa. It's not.
Blondes, the Casa de Blondes. Oh my gosh, it will be the Casa de Blondes when we live together.
Yeah, it will. It will.
That's
It will.
exciting.
So today, what do we want to talk about?
So I had a bit of a realization last night. So I've obviously been through PQ more than once, because the first time I wasn't fully open to it, and then the second time it was like, in fact, both times it was life-changing. But I had a bit of a realization last night. So to set the scene, if you're not watching, my hair is currently on point. I decided to hot brush it, and I'm giving like vintage big blowout thing, which is great.
Just lush.
Thanks. And I feel good about it, right? I feel really good about it. And yesterday morning, so I was doing some filming yesterday for some bits. So I had this like bright red lipstick on, my hair looked like this. I felt incredible. Like I felt sexy.
You nearly stopped yourself saying it then.
I did. I was like, I can't say that out loud, but I did. I felt really good. And then I shared a little picture on Threads and it's gone viral. Kind of on the wrong side because there's lots of old men telling me that they wish they were feeling me too. But it's fine. We move. We take the compliments and whatever. Anyway, I sent Dave, my husband, a picture and was like, hi, I can look pretty sometimes. And he was like, oh my God, you're a stunner. And we like flirted all day. Like it was really cute. And then he came home and literally ignored me. Like wholeheartedly just zoop, shut down. And so then Arlo went to bed. And at this point I was in a mood. I was pissed off. Like I'd gone into the kitchen to try and like be flirty, and he was just having none of it. And I was in a proper fume by the time we sat down after bedtime and things were done. And he was like, "Do you want to tell me what's going on?" And I was like, "I am sick of being rejected by my own husband. That's the truth of it." Um, and anyway, we had this really long conversation where I stayed in that zone of you're rejecting me for a very long time. And then I realized that potentially part of this rejection was me telling myself that I'm not pretty and not good and not worthy and all of that kind of stuff. And realizing I was judging him on an expectation that I had inside my own head. So like I'm not letting him wholly off the hook because I looked really fit. Like he should have got on his knees and bowed to me as he walked in the door. Like no, no, but you know what I mean? Like there was space that he could have said something. But just this realization that it was like totally my own judgment of me that was driving the entire situation. And like when I actually like when I noticed that and then was like actually listening to what he was saying was at the minute our little boy, who is magical and loving and kind, doesn't shut the fuck up, and it leaves us both wildly overstimulated.
Mm.
So the way he described it was that he feels so much like he has to put so much energy into not being this dad who's exasperated because he doesn't want Arlo to see that he doesn't remember that he's supposed to connect with me too. And I
Mm.
thought, wow. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah. And I was like, okay, do you know what? I can fucking take that. I was like, so here's the compromise for me is that when Arlo's chilling or we're all just sat, I need you then to anything to make me feel like your wife and not your best mate who's a roommate. Maybe it's put a hand on my knee or just tell me that I'm fucking pretty. Do you know what I mean? But it was that because what happened was after I'd listened to that and I'd heard him say that, I then was like, oh, we both have a different perception of what's happening here. Completely different. I have this perception that you hate me and don't fancy me and that you've settled and all of these kind of things. And you have this perception that because you love me and you can trust that, you don't need to say anything in those moments because you're just overstimulated. And I was like, they're just not meeting. So it's like we both could do with moving a little bit. So it's like
Mm.
he needs to come up a little bit and meet me in
Mm.
just saying his thoughts out loud.
Mhm.
And I need to chill the fuck out, is basically it. But yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, that was my night last night.
that was your night.
Yeah.
That whole bit about because well, the first question I've got for you is what do you need from our conversation, or in what way can I be useful? What do you want to do?
I think I would like a medal. She's looking around as though she's got a medal on her desk. It was
I
a
might have
trophy.
somewhere. I might have
Yeah.
somewhere. There's a
Um,
trophy somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So I haven't got it right this precise minute. Go on. Yeah.
so maybe a
Yeah.
metaphorical medal. Because I'm really proud of myself. Yeah, I'm really proud of myself for that.
I'm
Um,
sending her a love heart
but
medal.
also like I just think how often do we do that? How often is it the judgment of ourselves that leads to us judging others? Like I feel like I've known that for such a long time as a concept. Like, people
Mm.
say hurt people. And I don't think
Mhm.
that's a generalization because I don't mean that all hurt people choose to hurt people. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're gonna hurt people, there's something underneath that.
Mm.
Like I would suggest that maybe your judge is being a real meanie to you, a meanie bobini. You know what I
Well,
mean?
just come back to the bit that you said there, if it's okay, if it's all
Hmm.
right to go back to the bit that you said
Yeah.
about when you realized that in your head, you were thinking that he hated you, didn't find you. I can't remember if you said,
He's
attractive
settled.
or he'd settled, all of that.
Mm.
And what if I suggested to you that actually was you saying that to yourself and that's what you think of you?
I 100% know that. That's exactly the
literally
realization
that
that
is
I've
it,
had.
because it's you that thinks he's settling. It's you
Yeah.
that thinks that he doesn't like you and he hates you, isn't it? Which,
Yeah.
yes, is kind of what you said. But I want you to bring us back to that, because that's that moment, isn't it? When so you'd built. So if you just take it from the beginning, like, you felt great. Let's just
Mm.
stop with that for a second. You felt great. You were loving how you were feeling.
Had my
You were
cow
loving,
trousers on.
yeah, cat. Oh, well, there you go. Exactly that. So you were feeling brilliant. Everything about where you were at was great. And
Mm.
then you built, which is what we do, this story in your head of how it was going to go when your husband came in from work.
Yeah,
So
I
you
did.
met, and you used the word a little bit early, because we have expectations within that
Yeah,
story.
secret
And we
expectations.
it's yeah, see, right. And that's the bit about the communication, isn't it? So actually within that there were some needs for you. What did you actually need?
Um, in terms of what did I need to do if I
What
look
did you
back,
need
or
from your husband? So when he walked in the door, bear in mind you'd given yourself this
oh,
story
I
of,
just wanted him to give me a big cuddle and be like, oh, and like just say something like, "Can't wait till Ola goes to bed later." It could have been rude. It could have been cheeky. It could have just been like, "You look genuinely so pretty." Like just at any comment, movement, action.
so something
It
like
needed to be out loud though.
a
Like I needed to
squeeze, a
see it.
hug, yeah, words, a
Yeah,
compliment. You needed something that kind of
anything.
validated, what you were feeling
Yeah.
inside, what other people had said to you, what it felt like you'd done with all
Yeah, I
this work.
wanted that
You
agreement.
wanted it back.
I
You
wanted
wanted the
someone to go, yeah,
agreement.
you're right. You
Yeah.
do look
So
fit.
you had this expectation and these needs out loud, not
Yeah.
out loud, sorry. Like literally, it was all going on inside.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the first moment when you realized that possibly wasn't going to happen? What happened then?
I don't think I really realized it until I purposefully, because I was a bit like, you come in from work and you're busy and we have a toddler and there was dinner going on and all that kind of stuff. Um, and our toddler's in that stage where he's trying to work out his sentences, but instead of just waiting until he's worked a sentence out to say it, he says it and adds a word each time until it's done. So instead of just sitting there and going, "Mummy, I think I want strawberries with my rice," and I'd like them chopping, he goes, Mummy, I think I, Mummy, I think I want. And by the time you get to the end of the sentence, me and Dave are like, "Ah!"
So the overstimulated.
So that's what was happening, like in real time. And
Mm.
Dave went into the kitchen to make a coffee, maybe something like that. And I followed him in and put my arms around his waist, and he like immediately like shrunk away from me, and he perceived that as I was like playing. So obviously, we play fight a fair bit. We're not allowed to do it in front of Arlo because he gets really mad. He gets really angry. He's like, stop hitting my daddy. Stop pushing my mummy. But yeah, we play fight. Yeah, we do.
They do. They have done a lot. In fact, let me just point out, like literally like a brawl, but a fun, playful, hide the furniture, move the ornaments.
It's
I
so
always
much fun to
remember.
wrestle though. And it's like we don't have big blowout arguments because we're both we're both shit with conflict, so we can just like attack each other. Do you remember that time that I filmed us doing the sock thing?
Yes.
So we did that. You have to get each wear one sock, and you have to get the other person's sock first. We play that
Yes, I
game. That
do.
was fun, and I won. I'd just like
Lauren,
to
you are
say,
by no need. I know that you've pulled me up on this about being competitive, love. Yeah. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I don't think, in our house with competitiveness.
no,
So going back to what you said, so he shrugged you off.
yeah, and that felt like a kick. That felt like the biggest rejection. But again, it was just it was a complete miscommunication of perception, wasn't it?
Because what happened? Well, and what happened? Because what happened for you in that moment?
Oh, I felt myself just totally shut down. Like I
Mm.
literally like stepped back and I was like, nah, that's pissed me off. And I went and sat in the living room and just sat there and played with Arlo and just like that was the moment that I just stopped talking to him because I was like, that that felt like, and it's so interesting, isn't it, when you look back, because it's like now I can see it. I can see what was happening in my head. So my judge had been telling me that he was rejecting me, but I wasn't really listening to it. And then I went in there and it happened.
Mhm.
And my judge in my head went, "See, fucking told you."
Yeah.
Like it was like you knew you were gonna get rejected and you fucking did.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that was like
Yeah.
like like a spear through the chest. Um so yeah, fuck. And then I didn't I didn't recognize any of that in the moment. Like I was way too heightened. And I think if I'd maybe not been overstimulated and maybe not, do you know what I mean? I might have been able to take a breath, feel what was going on, but no.
But bearing in mind, we've talked about it before, the spiral that comes after that, isn't it? Because actually, there's the wounded at that point,
Yeah.
and you didn't do that because then it almost felt like you twisted it because then it was he hates you,
He's
you're
settling.
settling, and so
He's
now
gonna go find someone he actually loves at work.
it's almost like it went to the filing cabinet in your head that went, what are all the things I can say now that'll kind of validate exactly how I'm feeling, like only let those things in.
Yeah.
He's ignoring me, he's not talking to me, I'm on my own, it's all of
Mm.
that. He's settling, he doesn't like me, he doesn't find me attractive, and it goes, doesn't it? So no wonder then by the time it's got to
Mm.
that point it feels harder to eat, like you say, not even take a breath. That's not, and it because you hadn't spotted it when it was
Yeah.
this. What has happened? Well, actually, it had already gone from this to this, hadn't it? In no time, in seconds, it had become massive, like weighty, and then it was all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
So that takes the
Yeah.
recovery from that in that moment, even the spotting of it. Because at what point? So when you said that, because actually you spotted it within the conversation, I believe, when you were talking to him, or did you spot
Yeah.
it? It was when it were you
No.
with him?
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't. I stayed in this little shoulders up tight zone for like a good, well, probably a couple of hours till we ended up sitting and talking. And then I sat and I don't know what it was. I feel like there was like a specific moment where my brain was like, "Is that true though?" And it was
Mm.
like that little sentence, like it just went, "Is that true though?" And I was like, "Oh shit. Oh, maybe I'm putting my own thoughts on here." Ooh.
What did you notice about how things shifted physically for you? Did you notice?
Yeah, like it was literally like so one of like I came back, like I felt myself. So I was like on the sofa and it was like I like sunk and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I actually like curled in a little bit and was like I curled into the sofa and we were just chatting. But everything about me was just less defensive, less like tough, less like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect myself from this perceived slight," which wasn't a slight. I mean, he really, and they're like, if he wanted to, he would. Like, there is a part of that where it's like,
Mm.
look, bitch, stop getting complacent. I'm funny and sexy, and you should be grateful for me. Especially because I'm super open about how attractive I find my husband. Like,
Mm.
he walks in a room and I'm like, "Oh, I would." And I don't know if it makes him uncomfortable and I don't care. Um, so yeah, like there is a little part of me that definitely wants that side more. And yeah. This being aware of yourself thing is a ride.
It is a ride. It is a ride. Can I ask if you were to go back now
Yeah.
and redo it, like if you could, because you've done all that work now, what
Mm.
what, if anything, would you do different?
So I'd go back to the moment I went into the kitchen and went to put my arms around him and I wouldn't touch him because he's obviously overstimulated. And I'd stand next to him so he can see me but not touching. And I'd probably just say, I'd probably just ask something around like, do you know what? I'm really bad at just saying what I mean. Actually, when I know I want to say what I mean, I'm really bad at just saying it. And I just be like, I need a little bit of attention because I'm getting a little bit worried that you don't fancy me. That like that's what I'd say. I was trying to think of a different way, but I wouldn't. I'd just say that.
Just say it
Like
like that.
I'm so bad for just coming downstairs to me like I need attention.
Is that bad?
Like I don't know, maybe. I don't think so. I'm really clear about it though. Like when I know what I need, but I didn't know what I needed. Like that's the point because I hadn't figured it out.
Yeah.
But once I know what I need, I'll just say it. Like I'll just be like, I need attention or I need a break. I need 5 minutes on my own. Like I'm good at that bit.
Hmm.
But the recognizing what I need bit takes a bit of time. God. Oh. Interestingly, this makes me want to share another little story of recognition with you because I've been working on the Cabinet of Curiosities today, which is my magical social media strategy thing that's coming out tomorrow. Why did we say tomorrow was the date?
No, you did. This is it.
And I was writing the landing page copy for it, building the website, and the website's really cool. It's got like a clever button that does magical things.
It looks amazing and I love it. It's the vintage suitcases. People have got to go just have a look, click on some buttons, but it just looks gorgeous.
So yeah, I was doing that and I was looking at like going through it and I was thinking about the price and I was writing about I was writing the landing page and then I wrote the price and then I wrote in brackets, I was like, this needs to be worked on because now I'm not entirely sure that this price is a fair reflection. Like I think it should be far cheaper. And then like I came back to that afterwards because I was like, I need to fix this before I can do anything. And I was like, I'm not sure that this price feels right because it's just a set of prompts. It's this, it's this, it's this. And then I noticed the feeling in my shoulder blades, that meat hook feeling. So one of the things I recognized when I was doing PQ, I'm sure you remember, is that I get this feeling, it's like pain in the bottom of my shoulder blades, as though I'm being hung up by meat hooks. Like it's the most visceral, like it's so painful. And it must be where I hold the tension in my body or something about the way I'm sitting or something that makes it happen. But I noticed it. So I was writing this out and I noticed that pain and I literally wrote out, oh, hang the fuck on. I was like, I have the meat hook feeling in my back, and that means that isn't my thought. What's actually true about what I'm building? And then I was like, this isn't just a cheap chat GPT list of prompts that someone's built. Like I've built this entire strategy and structure that people can use themselves to practice being visible, to get comfy talking about themselves, to really learn how showing up for yourself, your work and your offers doesn't look boring or any way that other people tell us it has to look. Like there's no, tick boxes that you have to meet. Like it's just about really learning to sort of talk about this world. And I think that I realized it's this whole thing, this like nuanced thing. And I was like, nah, fuck off. It's definitely worth what I said it was going to be. Like it is. And I think
it's worth more, just so you know. But it is the work and the value that you've put into it.
Yeah.
What
And the
it will
time
people.
it's taken me, like it's taken me a long time to build it and curate it and put this
practice it
together.
and share it with people and get feedback and
Yeah.
refine it. So it's all of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
ready to go.
And it was that, like, because obviously I didn't notice what was going on, but I noticed the feeling, like as I was typing, and I was like, "Whoa, fucking take a breath, hang the fuck on."
That's the part for me that I do find so fascinating is because even that, because you're talking about it, but you can almost feel the just let the
Push my
hooks out of
shoulder
your back.
Yeah.
And the fact that we miss so many signals from our body that we're not okay, or that something, some part of us that is there to protect us, is taking over, or it's just telling us something. And there are these real kind of unique signals for our bodies that tell us. So not everybody feels fear in the same place, or you might feel excitement in a particular area, and yet it might be described with words by you slightly differently than it might be for me. So it's really interesting, like, because when you were talking there, think about that situation. The minute that your husband shrugged you, you were like, "Ugh." You didn't actually say anything, you just went, "Ugh." Like, it's that the stab through the heart, that pain, because and then there's the whole thing for love, the meat hooks, but the pain in your shoulders. And
Yeah.
my understanding is our sympathetic system sits in our back, so fight or flight. It's like, oh, I'm gonna, like, you're fighting
Yeah.
yourself, or you're gonna run away from this. What's happening? So it is really fascinating, isn't it, to think about what it does, and that actually you are spotting, the very physical responses before anything's even been said in your head. Really, before you've noticed the thoughts in your head, you notice that your body's feeling in a particular way, you're holding it.
Mm.
So just to add, on Sunday, after some news that wasn't great, I remember ending the call and sitting there, and I was a bit, I think I was well, it's not that I think I know I was overwhelmed by what was very likely a lot of emotions, and a lot of, like, it wasn't anything, it was just my body. And your dad, I can remember your dad coming into the front room, and like, he just stopped. And in that moment, I could feel myself about to go, because in my head I almost see it like it's a film that I'm now going to put onto a projector that goes onto a screen in my brain. So now my brain's going to play this out, and this, because that's what this is what happens. So it tried to go, and tried to start the film, which was, the story is, overwhelmed woman sits on settee, thinks about everybody else, doesn't want to put out all of these feelings onto everybody, and wants to protect them, because I don't want to upset and put discomfort on everybody
Yeah.
else.
It's
all
my
that kind of,
responsibility to keep everyone
make sure everybody
happy.
else's emotions are okay, because that's been a real strong story of mine for quite a long time. And
Yeah.
I felt it, and I felt my body pull me in little, pull me in
Ooh.
little. And I watched that, and in that moment I just went, and I put my hands on my heart, and I went, no,
Mm.
what do we need? And in that moment I heard this little voice inside, I need a hug. I need to, and then bigger, a louder voice went, I need to cry.
Mm.
I need to cry. I need to let it out, because I'm sad. And I'm noticing I'm sad. I feel a little bit hopeless. I feel, and it just was coming, and I could feel it. And
Mm.
and it's that bit, isn't it? Because actually, having had those conversations, like you said, communicating that need, whereas I would have just kept it in. I might have gone downstairs and sat on my own. I might have, 'cause just in case people don't know, we've got an upside down house as such. In the flat, I'd have kept myself away, gone and cried at my desk. I've done that before, and I just thought,
Mm.
no, actually, what I need to cry, and I need a hug, and I need some
Yeah.
physical contact, and just to feel like I'm not on my own. Because that just feels big, and that's what I asked for. And it was also noticed.
Yeah.
But as I said it, there was already an arm out ready to hug me. So, and I hugged in. But I think it's that, isn't it? I really feel like I can hear for you and for me that story of, you know, these unmet needs,
Mm.
not always feeling, okay to communicate what's actually happened to us, what that feels like from our perspective. In that moment,
Mm.
even if you hadn't, thought to say to Dave or stand by his shoulder, actually that moment that you were like, oh my God, it's like, being able to communicate what that would sound like.
Mm.
Or that whole, as you shrugged me off there, I could really feel the pain in my heart. It
Oh,
was
yeah, that feels like a massive
and
rejection.
it's
Yeah.
like, and I don't think you mean that, because he'd have very likely been, oh my God, no. Or he might have said, oh, I'm
Mm.
just overwhelmed, and you'd have gone, oh, it's overwhelmed. Right, hang on a second. But we just don't do that, do we? If we've not learned that, what we learn is how to be silent. What we learn is how to ignore what we need.
Yeah.
And in none of those stories was this about going, because that's the difference between intentionally hurting somebody when we can't manage what's happening and understanding it. What's truly going on here? Oh, that's me feeling rejected. Mine was, the story for mine was, it's my job to make sure everybody else is okay. Don't start and don't share. Nobody wants to hear yours. You're too emotional. Keep it together. So it's
Do you,
like,
do you know what I heard when you did that? I don't know whose voice that is, but someone go, don't start.
don't start.
Don't start.
Don't start that. Mm.
I heard that when you were saying that.
So it's all of those things that come up that, initially in them first, and that's why it is a practice for me, isn't it? Because like you said, look at how quicker the next day with what happened, you recovered quicker with the money thing and the whole, you recognize that one. Actually, some of them, these are deep things, patterns that we're in, and, just having that awareness. Um, And do you know, sometimes it's really interesting because I was thinking there about some of the stuff that I've been working with, and about why feedback matters, why having people who are not just going to be like your greatest fans in the world and tell you
Blow
anything.
smoke up your ass. That's what I call them.
That's what I was thinking. Actually, people that, you friends that will say if they're spotting something, or you're going into that, I can hear it, what's happening, are you okay, what do you need?
Yeah.
And it's that, isn't it, what's going on,
Yeah.
so that
Oh my gosh, have we come back to compassion again?
I actually had that conversation with somebody this morning, with a client, about compassion, because we actually noticed her judge. And this person was noticing what in positive intelligence we call it the saboteurs, and she's really taken on board the whole thing that they're about protection.
Yeah.
Because that's why I got when I was feeling overwhelmed and then I realized I needed to cry, that's why my body went small, because that protects me from the don't start, from the the fact that somebody's going to tell me that my emotions don't matter, because
they're too
they're
big.
not they're too big, because they're unable to deal with it. It's
Yeah.
and that's that happens because we're all at very different places. Not everybody's doing the kind of work that we do, understandably.
How dare they?
Yeah, I know you'd like everyone to be on the same level. And so it's that, if you think about that kind of situation, yeah, that need for compassion. And that was what I said, what would happen if you brought compassion? And it was challenging for this person, because that's not their default, and that. And
Yeah.
then I said, I don't know if this would be useful. What if that was a friend sat in front of you?
So much easier to dole compassion out for other people sometimes, isn't it? Which is
Sometimes.
kind of crazy. But also, it's one of those things where I didn't realize that practicing it just makes it easier, which I know sounds silly, but like I thought, obviously, because I'm an eldest daughter perfectionist, eldest of sisters, I do have an older brother, but he doesn't count. He does count. I mean, towards the sister thing, elder sister thing. Anyway, what was my point?
Perfectionist, compassion, practicing.
Oh, because I was like, well, I'm not very good at being compassionate. So if it's not perfect, it's not working.
Who is
God. What?
that part of you that comes out and speaks with that voice?
It might actually be my brother.
Oh.
Is it him? Is it Daniel? Loz. Yeah, the one that's like, shut the fuck up. Thankfully, it's not my judge. It's just my big brother on my shoulder telling me I'm an idiot. I'm so glad our relationship's good now. I keep thinking about shaving my head. I feel like I'm going to tell. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to tell our audience. I would love to shave my head, but nobody would like me to shave my head because everyone thinks I've got nice hair. But I'm like the freedom. I want to be bald so bad. Anyway, but the reason I won't do that is because I'm absolutely sure if I shave my head, I'll look like my big brother. I'm 100% sure that I'll just become his little short doppelganger. And I can't do that to myself.
That I can feel the parts in me now, the mother. Going, do we talk about this or do we just leave it?
I mean, my brother's a handsome man, but he's a man. I shouldn't look like that. Well, it's not that I shouldn't, I just don't want to.
You wouldn't. Well, in my opinion, you wouldn't. And yeah,
When I've got hair, I look like you, and when I'm bald, I look like him. Just bugger down, I really. What did I say about keyboard warrior?
So bearing in mind, I know you don't mean that.
No, I don't mean that at all. In fact, I got dressed yesterday and was like, oh my God, I look like my mom.
God love
Anyway.
you. Good that you look like you is the most important thing.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's quite a revelation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think when you start to spot, I had a client yesterday say that to me. I cannot believe how cruelly I speak to myself. And I don't think I'd realised how deep it actually goes.
I think I said those words to you the first time I did PQ as well.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. And I think, and it's, it's fascinating because it is fascinating because, and I think I might have said this before, but I think it's worth saying it again, that, the last few clients who have finished the course with me have all said to me, oh my word, and this is independent, they don't know this of each other.
No.
I cannot believe it. There's nothing wrong with me.
Mm.
And in fact, one person took it even further and went, I finally realized no one else is perfect, which means there's nothing wrong with me.
Oh, there it is.
And I was like, aha. Yeah. You don't need to be
By
perfect.
Jove, I think she's got it. Don't know what that's from.
No, me
Yes.
neither. I can't remember, but I think that
Is it.
and that's why compassion matters, isn't it? If we think about compassion, and yet I definitely think it's one of the hardest. It's not natural because our brains
No.
are switched for survival, and what we do is we're mean to ourselves because we think that's the best way to get us to survive.
How did this happen? Maybe this is a conversation for a different podcast because I realize we're already on time. But logistically, we must have been compassionate when we were like cavemen. Because
I
we
mean,
survived,
that's not
right?
what I've read.
Maybe
Well,
not.
that's where the communities came in.
Compassion for each other.
Yes, so each other. So that was the whole bit about feeling like you belonged in the community, is my understanding now. I am well open to somebody else coming on and being able to give me an anthropological view of
Oh my
this.
God, yeah. Can someone come on and tell us about
That
compassion?
that is the bit if you go further back, because my understanding is that if we think about the way that the nervous system built, dorsal vagal, first thing 500 million years ago, any creature that was alive at that point, their nervous system designed to help you survive, because that's what it's all about, is survival. And quite simply at that point, if the creature was frightened, it played dead or hid, so that so we've still got that in that sense of we freeze.
We do.
Yeah?
I do.
We freeze or withdraw. Yeah. So then fast forward, I mean, another 100 million years, and the creatures that were under that time now not only had the dorsal vagal, because this is a bit, it keeps getting added, dorsal vagal, so that, play dead, that kind of thing. They now get the fight or flight.
Was that ventral vagal?
No, so that's the sympathetic. So now sympathetic nervous system comes into play. Yeah. So dorsal vagal, sympathetic, and these two are now together. Yeah. And then as creatures evolved, what happened was then ventral vagal, about 200 million years ago, became part of certain creatures, not all, but this whole thing
Oh,
about
is that the hopelessness?
connection. Well, this is the connection bit because dorsal vagal is hopeless. Feel like you've got
Ah.
no. The other end, ventral vagal.
Oh,
This is
you were
about
going from bottom up.
I'm going bottom up. Yeah, so
Got
that's
it.
how it built. Dorsal vagal, and then the sympathetic, and then the ventral vagal. And this one, if
Community
you think
connection.
about it, it's about understanding that we need to be in communities to survive. Um, because this is how we protect each other. This is what happens. So it's all of that. This is where the
Mm.
mirror neurons, the being able to look, am I safe with this person?
Mm.
What am I seeing on their face? That kind of thing. The whole, if you think about contagion, if everybody's happy-ish and we're getting on,
I need to
feels
watch that
really,
so we can talk about it.
but yeah, it's really interesting how
Mm.
our bodies and our brains and though they are wired for survival. Even now, think about positive intelligence. One of the things that I remember knocked my brain for six was when I learned that for every negative comment or negative interaction that I have, I need 3 positive interactions to outdo that.
To balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like shit when you think about social media and the media and the news and all of those things. No wonder people feel exhausted.
Yeah, no wonder. No, and because we are just massively living in a time where the pace of things is ridiculous. So
Mm.
again, that's the part, isn't it, about being able to understand our own biology and physiology and why that has an impact like it does. Oh, no wonder. I struggle when I take in so much information without me even realizing it's that.
Yeah.
It is fascinating.
Yeah. I really hope that anyone listening to this, number one goes, oh, it's not just me who does that with my husband.
Mhm.
But number two realizes that there's so many layers to this that we don't understand, isn't there?
Mm.
As in, if you've not started this work, there are so many layers that help you understand
Mm.
why you behave the way you do and
Yeah.
all that kind of shit. And do you know what? It's really freeing because I always thought that learning this kind of stuff would mean that when I make mistakes, it's my fault. As in, when people are like, you get to choose to be happy. And then it's like, you choose to be happy. It's like, you think I'm choosing depression? You little fuck. Anyway, so that's kind of where I always was like, I don't really want to go into this because then it's like, it has to, it's like my fault. Does that make
Well,
sense? Like,
yeah, because that's all right. Hang on a second, because that is not the right word. You can
yeah,
choose happy because that absolutely then the opposite of that is that you're choosing to not be happy.
yeah,
So if you're not choosing to be happy, you're choosing to not be happy. It's
yeah.
like, did I say that twice then? If you're choosing to be happy,
I
if you're
think they
not
know what you
choosing to be
mean.
happy, you're choosing not to be happy. That's what I meant. Yeah, right. So if you think
So many
about that
negatives.
though, that gives you that the kicking you give yourself then because I'm not choosing it.
Yeah,
Why am I not choosing to be happy? It's like, what's
yeah.
wrong with me? Whereas it's not that. It's
No,
just understanding what's behind it.
yeah,
Understanding. So that's when you get an opportunity to actually take more control. Because the very thing, when you think about the circles of control, what's in my control? What can I influence? What's out of my control?
mm.
This is the bit in the middle is my attitude, my emotions, and they do not feel controllable when we first get started on this.
Mm. And
Of course they
also,
don't.
I think the biggest thing for me was not necessarily learning to control them because I still don't feel like I can control them. I just feel like I don't freak out at the bad ones.
Mm.
So I
Yeah,
don't
so
try
you're
and
at the
like
point
kick them
where
out.
so you understand now they all have a
Yeah.
purpose.
I'm like,
Nothing.
oh,
Yeah.
hello.
I
But that
remember being
means that the reaction's different because I'm not
yeah.
like, I can't be angry. And then I
Mm.
like get all stressy, aggressy and end up really angry anyway.
Mm.
That doesn't happen. It's like, hang on, I'm pissed off. Why am I pissed off?
Yeah. So now you
So it's
begin to
different.
understand it. So it's acceptance. So
Yeah.
it goes to kind of realizing that it's okay to have them all.
Yeah.
Then, being able to so accept them, understand them, what's happening, how come I feel like this, what's
Yeah.
going on. Um,
Yeah.
And then once you begin to do that, then you start to build on it.
Yeah. So that was the thing that I was hoping that people are like, it's not just me who does that to my husband, and there's a different
About
side.
any a story I could tell, but I would say, well, stop now. But of the times when I just very briefly, when my husband used to come on from work, sit on the settee, and like I'd be literally, I mean, he must have
Foaming a
felt
bit.
the fury coming off me because he wasn't looking at me and paying me any attention. And in my head out, but rather than being he was settling, mine was I'm boring. That was all. That's been my thing. I'm boring. I must be boring. And now we'd get a gobful because obviously, like, where I
How
actually
dare
realized,
he?
yeah, what was actually going on, because that's the bit once I started to settle into it and look at it, what was actually going on was I'd been on my own all day. I desperately
Needed some
wanted
attention.
some conversation and some attention. I needed some like adult to adult, stimulation. I wanted a bit of love, so there's all that going on for me. And he was coming home from work absolutely knackered, brain just needed to decompress, didn't have anything left because he'd had conversations all day.
But
And
also
so,
unaware of the
yeah,
expectation.
totally unaware because I didn't say
So
anything.
couldn't even like meet it.
Yeah. So that's when things started to change for me. The minute that I started to say, I realized this is going on for me. This is not about you. I realize this is within me and there's a whole other world happening. Can I just explain this very briefly and tell you what I need right now? And what is it that you need? And the minute that
Oh,
started
look at
to
us
happen,
with
it was like,
growth.
oh, I don't know. I think it might be really important to say to people it doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah, I'm years into this now, and like Monday was the first time I was like, hang on. Anyway, thank you for
Anyway,
coming.
yes.
We'll be back in our studio when we have time.
Yes, we will. And but I've quite enjoyed this being in our own little spaces and having conversations. And I do have a microphone just in case anyone was thinking, just Lauren, is she the only one with a microphone? No, she's not.
No, Mum's is just low down. Mine's on a pile of books, so that it's up near my mouth. Wait, look. La 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 la
Also,
la
can I
la.
very quickly, because we're at home, just share this?
Oh, what is it?
Because
Oh,
we've
she's
got,
showing you a snow globe. Oh, it's so pretty. So
I
this
use
is
it
going to
for
go out on the
knowledge.
25th of November. So I would like to know, listeners, is your tree up? Come and tell us. Have you got your tree
By the
up?
25th of November, no.
I'm
But
not
I just,
asking you. I was asking the listeners. God. Mum won't put a tree up because they don't put it up till the 1st of December. I, however, it will be up before then. I would like to do mine this weekend, I think. I think since COVID, I'm like, fuck it. Why not? Put it up
why
for
not?
like 6
Why not?
weeks.
What makes you happy?
Yeah. What makes you happy? Anyway, love you all. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.